Okay, hi everybody. I had to leave for an appointment, so I decided to make a screencast instead of having Ms. Bakken or Frau Bakken try to go through everything with you. So today is day one of your research essay. These are the things that we're going to cover today. I'm going to look at, or I'm going to show you the rubric so you can look at the rubric. We're going to talk about the student checklist. Ms. Frau Bakken is going to check your 5 topics, and then you're going to do your preliminary research, which is just looking for sources that might work for each of your 5 topics. So the first thing I want to show you is the argumentative essay unit rubric. This is an assessment. It's worth 70 assessment points. It is separated into two separate assignments that'll go into Skyward. One is going to be a writing assessment and one is a technical assessment. The writing assessment is worth 50 points. You'll notice that the rubric looks a little bit different just because everybody's essay will be slightly different based on what their topic is, how they structure it, and so forth. So these are the areas you're being assessed in, and then you'll either get advanced, proficient, or developing for each area, and they're equally balanced. So for writing, you have to have an intro paragraph, which is a lead. You'll have your counterclaim, you'll have your thesis with 2 claims, a minimum of 2 claims. You're graded or assessed on how strong your lead is, your counterclaim, your thesis, and how strong your 2 claims are. You can have 3 claims if you want, but minimum of 2, so that would make it a 2-pronged thesis. The second area that you're assessed on is evidence, making sure that your evidence is presented clearly, that it's researched and credible. It's not taken directly from your head, but you actually research from the web or from issues and controversies, that it is credible research, and we'll talk about that when we get to it, and that all of your evidence is relevant to the claim that you are trying to prove. You also should have strong evidence. There should be a variety. So we have facts, statistics, expert opinion, and testimonial. You have to have at least 2 of those. You also should use at least 2 sources, 2 different sources. And then finally, direct quote and paraphrase. So within your essay, one piece of evidence must be written as a direct quote, one piece of evidence must be paraphrased, and then any evidence you have beyond that can be either directly quoted or paraphrased. All right, before I go any further, for those of you who are wondering, like, what is the minimum I have to do? What is the shortest essay I have to do? And the shortest essay you'd have to do would be 4 paragraphs, because that would be paragraph 1 is your intro paragraph. Paragraph 2 is a body paragraph that talks about one of your claims. Paragraph 3 is a body paragraph talking about your second claim. And paragraph 4 would be your concluding paragraph. And then within those 2 body paragraphs, you have at least one piece of evidence to support each claim. I recommend having 2 pieces of evidence, but in some cases you might have one piece of incredibly strong evidence with an incredibly strong warrant, and that's enough. So you determine if you think you need more. The second or the third category that you're being assessed on for writing is warrants. So making sure that you clearly in your writing connect your claim back to your evidence, or connect your evidence back to your claim, that your warrant or explanation goes beyond just restating your evidence, but actually explains how it supports your claim, just like we talked about in class, and then justified or logical reasoning, that it makes sense. The fourth area for writing is your conclusion, using that flipped format that we talked about, and we'll go over this again when we get to that point, but starting with a reworded thesis, a connecting sentence or transition, and then ending with a loop back to your lead. The final area is craft and tone. This is a formal piece of writing, so it should be written in third person only. That means no first person pronouns like I, me, we, no second person pronouns like you. It should be third person only. I can help you with that when you get to that point, but make sure you're using third person only, which would be pronouns like he or she or they or one. And then sentence variety, having effective transitions, and then just sophistication of writing. That would be complex sentences, that would be strong word choice, All those go into craft and tone. So this is your writing portion of your rubric, and it is 50 points. The next is your technical portion. That is 20 points. You will be assessed on MLA format, that your paper is formatted according to MLA, and I'll show you how to do that. That you have citations for every piece of evidence. They are not plagiarized. You have both parenthetical and embedded citations. An embedded citation, remember, is when you say according to and then you name the source. Parenthetical is when you put the source in parentheses. Your format and punctuation of your citations has to be done correctly, and all of your citations from your essay need to go into your works cited. Your works cited needs to be in proper MLA format, alphabetical, and all of the citations listed in your paper need to be in your works cited. If you forgot how to do any of this, it's all on Google Classroom in the slideshow from Friday when we went over the notes on how to do citations. Also, remember I showed you that really nifty tool on Google Docs right up here, citations. If you use this, your works cited will probably be perfect. The only problem would be if you forget to include a source. And then finally, writing conventions, which is proper sentences, usage, which is the proper word. Like if you're using the word there, you use the proper there, spelling, capitalization, and punctuation. So that's 20 technical points. All right. If you have questions, write them down and I will answer them tomorrow when I am back, or email me. But basically, that's how you're being assessed. Keep in mind, this is a summative assessment, but there is no retake after you turn in your final draft. What that means is I will be helping you all along the way, and I'll talk more about that in class tomorrow, about how I'm going to be helping you. And so the help along the way is really the first draft or the first attempt. And then February 17th, when you turn the entire assignment in, that is your retake. So whatever you turn in February 17th, that's your final attempt. All right, the next thing that I want to show you is this student checklist. And everyone should have gotten one of these when they were reading from Frau Bakken. Put your name at the top if you have not put your name there yet. And this is just for you. I printed up a few extras, but not a lot. So make sure that you do not lose it. It is just for you. I will not be collecting it, but I highly recommend you use it. So if you look on the left, first column, everything that has a check, those are steps of the process that actually have documents on Google Classroom for you to complete. If there's no check, it means it's not on Google Classroom. Like the 5 topics, that was a handout. The notebook, that's going to go in your notebook. The next column is just what each step is. You should not work ahead. So when you finish a step for the day, you're done for the day as far as working on this. The way class is going to start starting on Thursday is when you get to class, we are going to do the attendance question first. And then as soon as the attendance question is done, I'll give you like a 5-minute mini lesson on what you're doing that day, what step you're working on that day, and then you'll have the rest of the class to work. Read time will be shifted to the end of class. So once you finish that step for the day, you read. If you don't get to reading, you don't get read time that day. If you don't finish that step by the end of the hour, you should work on it for homework so you don't get behind. The next column says when all of these items are going to be completed. In most of these cases, it means by the end of the class hour that day. This column is where you can put in questions you want to ask me. So let's say you're working on this and you want to remember, oh gosh, I want Ms. Benlin to read my claims, or I want her to give me feedback on this evidence, whether it's strong enough. Just fill it in wherever. It's just a reminder for you of what you want to ask me. And then this last column is for you to just check off as you do every single step. And that's just designed to help you keep on track. So if you follow this and you use this checklist and you keep up, this should be a fairly straightforward, simple assessment. If you do not, it will be difficult. All right, the final thing I'm going to show you is what you're going to work on today. So as soon as this video is over, Frau Bakken is going to come through the room and check off that your 5 topics assignment is done. In order for it to get checked off, you have to have all 5 boxes completely filled out. If you don't have them filled out, you work on that. Ask a friend where to get ideas. I've already shown you in class. If you lost your sheet, all the extras have been taken, so you're going to have to do your 5 topics on loose leaf paper. All right, once you are done with that, or everybody who already has it done, this is your assignment for today, and you should have about 15 minutes to work on this. You're simply going to type your 5 topic ideas in with the position on the left-hand side, and then you're going to do just some quick Google searches based on what you wrote for ideas to research or things that you would want to research. And you're not going to read them, you're not going to do anything with them, you're just going to put the link here. So I'll show you what I mean. This is Brian Wrights from Fourth Hour. So here are his 5 possible topics with position, and then he simply included links to sources that he might use. The purpose of this is when we look at this later, which will be tomorrow and into the next day, it'll give you an idea of, is this a good topic? Is there a lot of information? Like number 2, he only has one source. It might not be a good topic to use. So this is as much as you need to do today. If you do not finish, make sure you finish it by tomorrow. Again, if you're behind and you don't have your 5 topics, make sure you get those done as well. I promise I'll be back tomorrow. I just had to go to an appointment. So thanks for listening to me. And I already told Frau Bakken that you are an amazing class and my best behaved class. So show her how awesome you are. And if you have questions, ask a friend in class, see if they can help you. And if they can't, then either email me or ask me tomorrow. All right, that's it.